Hey guys, it's Sean. How are you? Welcome to Shanda Says. I have a question for you. How many of you are dealing with either your man's or your woman's family all up in your business? Or you have a meddling mother-in-law in your business or a meddling sister-in-law in your business? Yeah, someone wrote into me and asked me, what do I do? Because my husband is constantly being in the middle of me and his family's fights or me and his mom's fights or whoever. I want to just go on record and say that I had this type of situation in my last marriage. And it's weird, I'm going to say this now, that my ex-mother-in-law, I have a great relationship with her today, but that wasn't always the case. You know, it's very hard when you love someone and your family doesn't exactly agree with who you're with. You know, your family may have their own ideas of who they think you should be with. And even if there's some validity to that, there always has to be a point that as a couple, you have to understand and respect each other and the relationship enough that that comes before everybody else. Before everybody else. And normally this behavior and what is good and what isn't and what's going to be allowed and not allowed in a relationship, this needs to be established very early on when you start seeing each other. You know, there are times that mother-in-laws feel threatened by a daughter-in-law or a woman that comes into their son's life and they feel like they're in competition with them. But here's my thing. As a man, and I'm going to use men as an example, as a man, especially if you're married, you know, there's a verse in the Bible that a man leaves his wife, his mother and his father and clings to his wife. As a man, if your mother, your father, any of your family members are coming out of pocket in regards to your relationship, it's up to you to put them in a place of respectability where they're like, you have to mind your business. You have to let me handle this. You have to allow me to be the man in my relationship. And you can't have your family tearing down the walls of your relationship because it puts your partner in a position of constantly fighting and battling a war that, quite frankly, you can't win. You can't win because that's their blood. That's family. So it's hard for a man or a woman to be put in a position to have to compete and have to constantly deal with family members or a mother-in-law or whoever that's constantly in your relationship. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think. A lot of ways to prevent this is, and we've all been guilty of this. Your man or your woman has pissed you off, right? And of course you go to a family member because you trust them. You don't want everybody in your business. But when you keep going to a family member and you're constantly complaining and giving all your business and looking for all your advice from a family member, you're giving them all your relationship and you're putting them in a position to judge it, to make comments on it, and to try to solve your problem when that is not their place. It is your place to work it out with your partner one-on-one. And you guys need to have a set guideline about moving forward that you're constantly, it's like solidarity, that you have to say, it's me and you against the world. And no one ever wants their man or their woman to say it's me or your mother. But unfortunately, sometimes it may have to come down to that until your mother can back off. And sometimes as a man, it's hard for you to tell your mother, mommy, back off. You're causing too many problems. You know, I think as a woman, I think about, are there times that my daughter was in a relationship and I didn't like the person? Absolutely. But I think the best thing that I can do is listen. If you ask me my opinion, I'm going to tell you, but I don't get involved because people need to find their own way. And most times innately, people know what they need to do. It's just coming to a place of action when you're ready to take action. You know the saying, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when a lot of times people make the decisions to do what they're supposed to do. But as far as a meddling family member or family, because it could be the whole family involved. Your partner has to take some of the heat on that because they're allowing that to happen. And if it takes you to sit your mother down quietly, just you and your mom, don't let your man or your woman handle that. And you say, I love you. I love you. You've raised me. You've raised me to have all these decisions and to know right from wrong. And I need you to allow me to do that. And if your mom, whoever it is, family member, sister, brother, can't respect that, then you may have to love them from afar. You may have to love them from afar. Because it is not good for family or mother-in-laws and all of that to be all up in your business. You have a problem with your woman or your man, you talk to them directly and you handle it together as a couple. But complaining, saying this and running and going telling that to family will blow up in your face every time. And you know what else too? You'll complain so much and then they think they could say what they want about your man or your woman. And then you get pissed if they say the wrong thing. But you've given them the ammunition to do that. And you cannot do that. I'm going to say this, especially if you're married. If you're married, your husband and your wife or your wife come first. It's the truth. You leave your mom and your dad to have this partner. So you have to respect that. And if other family members can't respect it, hey, you may have to cut them off until they come around. And that's hard, especially because we love our family. But you have a family with your wife or your husband, and that has to be respected. And being together and standing together shows other people can't be penetrated. You're united together and making this work. And after a while, they'll respect it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about family and interference. Leave your comments. Let me know. Hope you're following me on Twitter at Shanda Says. And again, you can email me, shandasays1@gmail.com. And you can like me on Facebook. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.